Middletown. I loved seeing all these people. Somehow I missed it. I missed my family. When they would come, after a while, we lived a few years on High Street, then we rented this big house on Mansfield Terrace and High.
85 High Street.
I was so happy. My family would come, they'd stay for 2 weeks, his mother would come. She'd love to shovel snow. Who sees snow in New York? It's down and away, right? But I think when I joined the synagogue and got interested, got involved with the organizations a little bit, and met some of the people, things started to be a little different.
And this was 14 years? How long did it take you to get involved?
No, it didn't take that long. No, because I joined...
A couple of years at the most.
Yeah, I joined, the organizations and went to these things because I wanted to meet the people, you know. And at that time we had a United restaurant, a long time ago. And I remember people used to go to the theater, to the Middlesex Theater. We had two theaters, one on Main Street, one on College Street, and people would congregate in the United after the theater. Wesleyan boys would come in and sing. And I remember the early times, the first few times that I went in with Bernie, everyone looked. Here's a stranger. You know, that must be the woman from New York. Well, but Middletown has been good to us. Things were changed, business had improved. I say today, he didn't take salaries for many weeks. He told me to go into charge, Totten's or the other stores for the children to buy things. We didn't do that in New York. There was one item I remember that my mother and father charged, paid out, and that was the Soma piano for $650. We didn't know what charge accounts were in those years. He said, go in, let them know who you are. I was a little embarrassed, but I did go in. Those bills were paid, and as I said, Bernie's worked very hard through the years. He ran that baseball team. He went every drive. He was contacted with everything. Of course, coming here, they thought maybe he was a cowboy from Brooklyn. But he did make a good name for himself, and we are very happy. Middletown has been good to us.
Bernie, back up to when you first started the store. Now, tell me how that came about, and why did you choose Middletown and then take us up through the steps into the store?
I never heard of Middletown before we got here. I found this was a store for sale, and I found it in a jewelry magazine. But I just got on the Parkway and came up, and this was exactly what I wanted. I looked for a store for almost 5 years. We traveled all over.
It was exactly what you wanted. What were you looking for?
I wanted a small town, and I wanted to be on Main Street.
Why?
Because I never liked New York, and when I even went to when I was in the shoe business, I asked to be sent out of town. And that's when I went out to Hempstead. In those days, Hempstead was a very nice, small town, very similar to what Middletown was in those days. I never liked New York. I don't like New York even today. I don't like to go back there at all. I came up and I liked the store. I liked what I saw.
Where was the store?
It's where Sears is today, and of course the store's name was Pinsker's, which I kept for 5 years until I moved up further on Main Street, and then I changed the name to Bernie Fields Jewelers. But as my boss here said, I got very, very much involved in town, and I enjoyed everything that I did. I was president of a baseball league for about 8 years. I headed the Red Cross drive. I headed the Heart drive. Here's a new man in town, let's get him. And that's exactly what happened. And I got involved in everything that was going on. I enjoyed it, and I met a lot of people. And in 1962, I started the first Big Brother movement in the entire state of Connecticut. And it's been one of the most successful organizations today. We've got about 12 different organizations in different towns throughout Connecticut. And I was very proud that they named the organization after me. They call it the Bernie Fields Chapter, which comes out of Hartford. And what else?
What prompted you to start the Big Brothers? How did that happen?
We had a group. As a matter of fact, some years way back, of course you guys wouldn't remember, we had a Judge Scamperino in town who was a sweetheart of a man. And we had a young kid come before him who was 15 years of age. And he just didn't know what to do with him. The kid had no home. He put him in jail because he didn't know where to put him. And from this, we got a group together. We had police people. We had people from the different schools, from the different organizations, and we started a youth group. And from that, we decided that the need was very great for a Big Brother organization. And I hate to tell you that at that time I never even heard of Big Brothers. Big Brothers is strictly an organization for children that have no father, or divorced families, where there isn't a man in the house, period. And we started it from scratch. It was a great challenge, but we did it. And there's a lot of success stories. Today, some of these kids that I worked with many years ago are married with their own families and children. And when I began, I had no people to work. I had 20 kids myself that I was working with. I used to spend more time in Haddam jail than anybody else.
I was just going to say that. Where did you go early Thanksgiving Day?
What do you mean? You went to Haddam jail?
Because I had kids there that were in jail that I had been working with. As a matter of fact, when I originally started this, I got involved. And people really didn't understand Big Brothers. We got a guy, Bernie Fields, well, let's grab him. This kid is in trouble, we'll call Bernie. And this really went on. I was so involved with so many boys, it's just unreal. But somehow or other we survived, and then eventually we got Big Brothers, we got a real organization, and we did very well.
People today will call them at the store if they need a big brother. Women.
Is that so? That's still a very that's a program that's still very much enforced. It's still
Oh yes,
probably more so than ever.
bigger than ever.
Yeah.
Bigger
Big
than ever.
sisters too. Big brothers,
Now
big
we took
sisters.
in women,
Yeah.
and of course I was very grateful to Wesleyan. We did very well with Wesleyan for Big Brothers. And at the beginning it bothered me. I said, gee, these kids are only here for a short time. When they leave, what's going to happen? But somehow or other it was beautiful. They worked with these kids as they went on vacations. They wrote to them. In some cases, some of the Wesleyan boys even took the kids home. And to a kid that never left Middletown, he'd go to New Jersey with some of these boys' homes, and it was just beautiful.
What about Mardi Gras and go having
We had a wonderful relationship with Wesleyan. They still do. Matter of fact, they must get at least 25 or 30% of the Big Brothers and Big Sisters from Wesleyan. And it's worked out beautifully.
That is good.
Marty was a Big Brother for many, many years. Matter of fact, he had 3 kids. When sometimes a parent remarries and then a Big Brother steps out. But I remember Marty saying that if he knew he was going to have 4 children himself, he don't know whether he would have been a Big Brother. But Marty was marvelous with these kids. And they became part of his family. The kids used to wait till Bobby came over to the house.
I loved him.
And with these kids, just to get them out of their own environment, it was the greatest thing in the world for them. And we didn't advocate spending money on them, just spend an evening with them, spend a few hours with them, spend a Sunday with them, take them fishing, play ball with them, go bowling. That's exactly what Marty used to do, and it worked out beautifully. And to this day, I see kids that I've worked with 20, 30 years ago that come in with their children. And it's a hell of a nice feeling.
Bernie, it's apparent when you go into your office that you can tell, and having known you for all these years, I know very well, that you've given an awful lot of your time to, for lack of a better word, charities. Why'd you do that?
I enjoy doing it. I love to be with people, and I love to help people, and I always have. And I still haven't changed. I'm still doing it. And I'll do it till the day I die. But we've gotten...
You could go back to that story shortly after we came to this town. The girls at the Y, Bob Rolando, they came to you, and they...
Everybody came to Bernie Fields.
Why?
He was the #1 guy if somebody needed something. They started a youth group, and I was the guy that helped them start it. This was many years ago. But every drive I was involved, and today
At that time, you couldn't afford even.
it hasn't changed much.
But you have a big heart.
People still call on me, and I enjoy doing it. It makes me feel needed. At my age, at 78 years of age, these people want me. They still need me. It's a nice feeling.
That is nice. That's real nice.
About your life, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm still working full time and enjoying it. And maybe when I'm 85, I'll retire.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not sure. God willing.
Tell us about the store. I know that's not as I can tell, because that's what I wanted to direct you here. That it's like.
Store is another part of our lives. Very fortunate.
But almost secondary to Big Brothers and being involved with the community and so forth.
Well,
I mean, that's what I sense.
The store keeps us involved with people. We've made a lot. We've made hundreds and hundreds of friends. Fortunately, my son Marty is in the store. My son-in-law Henry is in the store. My wife still works full time with me, and we're very happy in what we're doing. We've done well in the store. We've enlarged our store, as you know, several times. We've improved our store several times. We have a beautiful trade. The town of Middletown has been very nice to us.
We love people.
We're involved with people. Just Saturday night, we're at the St. Sebastian's car raffle. Usually they have 500 people. We're the only 2 Jewish people there. We get invited
But we know most everyone
we
there.
get invited to the Italian affairs, and we enjoy them very much. These are our friends. These are our friends.
That's true.
I am involved with every church in town. As a matter of fact, I used to be on the board down in Norwich with Bishop Riley, where we worked for the school in Deep River for boys. I was on that board for several years, and they still come to me when they need something. And how did I get involved with the school down there? This is a school for boys, by the way, in Deep River. One of my kids who had left, dropped out of school, and the guidance director came to me and says, "Bernie, maybe you can do something with this boy." Well, we got him to go back to school, and we got him to go to this school in Deep River. And this boy has done very, very well. He's married today with 3 children. As a matter of fact, when he went into the Navy, he signed his life insurance policy over to Big Brothers. He was so grateful for what we did for him. Thank God we never collected.
Amen. That's really something. You liked Main Street. That was one of the attractions.
That's right.
And
that's correct.
I know that a lot of things have happened of late that kind of grieve you about Main Street.
It'll come back. It'll come back. We go through phases. It's got to come back. We've been knocked down, but it'll get back up there again. Say something, sweetheart. You haven't spoken for 3 minutes.
That's all right. We hope so.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is to we know about Marty and we know about Harriet. If you can tell us a little bit about when they got married, and then just mention the grandkids, and maybe tell us just a little something that you might have in mind about each of the grandkids.
Go ahead, Helen. That's right up your
Well,
alley.
that's the greatest joy of my life, these kids.
In my life, believe me.
That's right. I just can't begin to express the feeling. I mean, seeing them born, babysitting for them, watching them grow.
They were fortunate. We were fortunate.
That's
we
right.
grew up
That
with them.
we have